All right. So far you have planned out your body paragraphs, all through your body paragraphs, including your counterclaim. And so now we're going to kind of work our way back to the beginning of our essay, and we're going to plan out our introduction. So we have three parts of our introduction. One is your hook, your interesting anecdote, which is like a little story, fact, statistic, example about your topic that really gets your reader's attention. It hooks them in. Background information is giving us kind of just the basics, the general idea or background information of your topic, and then your claim or thesis. And true misleading fashion, we're going to actually work backwards. So I'm going to start with your claim or thesis. So I put this little section in brackets because a lot of times students will struggle with this. This isn't actually part of your thesis, but this might help you kind of get started with your sentence. I think that students should not be forced to wear uniforms to school. Okay, so that is my claim. That's my big idea that everything else that I've written so far falls under. Okay, and then you can kind of work your way into, okay, well, what's an interesting thing that you, like an interesting anecdote? And I might start kind of setting this scene. Um, The phrase school uniforms might conjure images of a fancy private school where students wear plaid and blazers every day. Okay, so I've kind of set the scene. You could do the same thing. You could tell a story. You could use a crazy statistic, a fact, something that's just going to kind of get your reader hooked in. So they're kind of picturing this, right? The phrase school uniforms might conjure images of a fancy private school where students wear plaid and blazers every day. However, in the past 30 years, more and more public schools have begun requiring uniforms for their students. The argument, the goal is to improve academics and behavior by requiring students to wear uniforms each day. Okay, so I've kind of given now like the general background information, and then I'm going to give, though, my claim, students should not be forced to wear uniforms to school. So if you read this all together, the phrase school uniforms might conjure images of a fancy private school where students wear plaid and blazers each day. However, in the past 30 years, more and more public schools have begun requiring uniforms for their students. The goal is to improve academics and behavior by inquiring, I would probably change this so I don't say requiring twice in a row, but I'm going to keep going for right now, students to wear uniforms each day. Students should not be forced to wear uniforms to school. And so you could decide, am I gonna really focus in on public school, or am I going to um, leave this as just school in general? Because I've kind of talked about the difference between private and public up here, and you can kind of I could make that decision. But you can see here, I have my introduction paragraph. So what I would recommend that you do is start with your claim, write it out very clearly as a complete sentence. That's one sentence for your claim. And then the top two boxes, your hook and your background information, could be like 1 to 2, maybe 3 sentences at the most, that hook your reader in and then give them the background information on your topic. When you're done, you will simply copy that link and then paste it in the writer's box in Odysseyware.